And like I said, it's bigger than me. It's a very similar concept where we're connecting. Basically, I like, I like to say we're bridging the gap between knowing a thing and doing a thing. Knowledge is power, but action is where the change actually takes place. And so you're focused on transformation. I love it. The awareness, all those concepts align. The first book that's being published, not the first book that's written, but the first book being published for me is called Loving the Journey and Living the Dream. And we're going to talk about very similar principles today in some of the work you're doing. Now, we can't talk about everything, but I would like for you to give a very brief um, overview of just, the first time you came on the show, we talked about your reflection number one, this concept of facing your struggle, this concept of, a lot of people are struggling right now. And we're saying your struggle can be, how do you describe your struggles?
A signal for
Beauty of
change, opportunity for growth.
a signal for change and opportunity for growth. What if everyone decided that what's happening today with COVID-19, with this pandemic, what if we all decided that this struggle was meant for our growth? Like, what would you, if you, we're not going to deep dive on that today because we talked about that on the prior show, but let's just make sure we ground people on the concept that the struggle is by definition necessary. It's a necessary part of the journal. Let's talk about what would you share with someone who's struggling on how to think about it differently and approach that struggle as an opportunity for growth.
Yeah, so great question. Let me level set by laying a foundation. I know for the audience, as for preview to our prior conversation, the
Mhm.
transformation journey, the outcome towards achieving clarity or what I call purpose, finding meaning.
Mhm.
I provide a 10-step journey, and the first phase or the first step is the step of facing your struggle. The second, third step includes acknowledging your purpose in life, understanding you, understanding around you, believing, discovering you, deploying you, making impact, and committing yourself to purpose. So the question on facing your struggle, why is it important to face your struggle? Just to give you some insights, that your struggle is a signal for change and an opportunity for growth. Your struggle actually gives you information or informs you on the things that you probably want to pay attention to, especially if you use the COVID-19 as an example. There are so many things you can do. And of course, it's a severe pandemic. The world is grappling with it, but there's some opportunities in there. One of the things I shared last time was self-discovery leads to self-exploration. And when you look at the struggle in itself, and using COVID as an example, we have opportunities. We're first we're frightened and we're fearful and we're trying to find a panacea for this, but there's opportunities for us internally as well. We can be doing things to improve ourselves, reconnect with our families, learning things that we probably never thought we can do, like maybe learning to cook or doing things that because restaurants are closed. So there's so many opportunities, but I don't know how many people are actually seizing the opportunities to develop themselves in that particular space.
I love that. What I love most about what you're saying is we can all do it. No matter where you are in life, the idea is most of us are changed. Things have changed. Even if you haven't lost your job, your routines are different. You're not able to do the things that you were able to do in the past. And I think what's super exciting about this, and I'm taking, feverish notes. I have your book on my phone on Kindle. I have your workbook in front of me, yet I'm still feverishly taking notes here. What I love about what you just said is self-discovery leads to self-exploration. So that's your challenge number one. Each of our shows are really, it's about information, but it's also about activation, right? We can't just tell you a thing and not expect you to do a thing.